Is imposter syndrome ruining your life? Is imposter syndrome ruining your life? It has definitely been a huge part of holding me back over the years. I will tell you this. As an author, a speaker, an entrepreneur, I can tell you, you would think, I get this a lot. People from the outside looking in at me, there would be a lot of, oh, it just comes so easy to you. It just must come naturally. You must have been just, they think I'm just like born with confidence, and that's how I show up and do this, even being on this YouTube right now, right? No. Imposter syndrome has absolutely kicked my butt and still continues on occasion to definitely kick my butt. And I want to talk about it because I feel like it's one of the massive things that holds us back from, not only things like, joy, happiness, feeling good about yourself, moving forward fiercely in life, but it affects our bottom line. Because if you're, I talk to a lot of the people that are wanting, do you want to make money online? Do you want to make money doing what you love? Do you want to make money, using your intellectual property and turning it into, a course, a book, a speech, doing a YouTube channel, just creating content? If this is you, it always, if that's something that you want to do, that's like, oh, there's never been a greater time in history to be able to do all of the above and thrive. However, the imposter syndrome thing, this is that where we start doubting ourselves. You doubt your own ability to do whatever it is that you're setting out to do. There's just this doubt, no matter how much you've achieved, no matter how much knowledge you already have. And it's a really sneaky thing. Ironically, you know who deals with imposter syndrome the most out of everyone? High achievers. So that's where it can get really interesting, because generally speaking, the higher your goals are, the bigger your goals are, the more you're gunning after. If you have a higher standard that you're holding yourself to, and the things that you want to make happen in your life, and it's just like this great profound irony happens. That's who usually gets hit with imposter syndrome the most. It's not the guy or the girl that's like, just ho-hum, low goals, like they've settled into, mediocrity is fine and I'm just going to eke through life. They'll be quicker to show up for something that they don't feel, what is that? Like they don't feel like they deserve or whatever. They don't care. They'll show up. But it's the people that are really gunning for it in life that tend to have these high goals that get hit the hardest with imposter syndrome. And it's where we're second guessing ourselves, right? You might find yourself second guessing, like, who am I to do this? Who am I to be talking on this topic? I'm not the world's greatest expert. I don't know everything about this. There's people smarter than me. There's people doing this better than me. It's all of this talk around how somehow you're not the person with the ability that should be doing whatever it is that you're doing. And it's just criminal, because here's the thing about imposter syndrome. It's something that only you can start getting in front of. It cannot be fixed or cured. There's no external antidote. That's a frustrating thing. So we could have, because here's what happens, what research has shown, like, so if imposter syndrome creeps up, you show up to do a project, there's tons of anxiety around it. There's lots of over preparation. We're overthinking every little thing, freaking out about it, procrastinating because it's, there's just so much anxiety. Then we embark on the project, start doing it. It's kind of hell going through it, second guessing, lots of self-doubt, who am I to do this? I shouldn't be, blah, blah, blah. Could have done this better, all the things. Then we get it done, whatever the thing is, we finally get it done, get it out there, and it might be excellent. And there could be tons and tons of positive feedback, excellent job, Erica, great work, well done. And then the imposter syndrome does this sneaky thing. Not only did it torture you on the front end, right? Not only would it torture me on the front end while leading up to taking action towards my big goal and doing a project, that was going to really help me, achieve my goals. It crept in at the beginning, in the front. It tortured me through doing the project and working on the project. It was like that second guessing. And then the kicker is when it's accomplished and it's put out into the world and it's like, ta-da, and it gets lots of good feedback, then the voice comes back and says, you know, you just probably lucked out. You know, I don't know if you could do that again. You know, maybe they didn't really see all of it. You know, it ends up being like an issue of luck, or they don't, it's like somehow the accomplishment still doesn't feel fully deserved. Like, I didn't really prepare enough for that, so I just lucked out on it. You know, there's some voice that's going to invalidate the success that we just had. And so it pulls you right back into the loop of back into, oh, I don't know. I don't think I'm, you know, there's other people doing this better than me. There's other people doing a better job. There's other people more qualified. And it's just all a bunch of crap, because the thing is, of course, in all, like there's no such thing as, you know, being the best in the world. Even if we achieve the best in the world, if there's such a thing, there's somebody else that's training and working and whatever that's going to beat you out. Like, you know, it's like the 4-minute mile, you know, 1956. It's like, you know, Roger Bannister, he runs the 4-minute mile, first person, it's recorded. Oh my gosh, it's never been done before. Amazing. And then there was like I don't know, like 12 people that ended up breaking the 4-minute mile within that same year, right after that. Because we set precedents for each other. Once we see something's possible, then we're gonna gun and we're gonna know it's possible and we're gonna go after it. But this imposter syndrome can really ruin our lives when we're constantly filled with anxiety about our own ability and our own sense of enoughness, if that's even a word, our own sense of enoughness or our own sense of deservability on a topic. So when we're moving out in the world, this imposter syndrome is something for us you have to be really self-aware. You have to be self-aware and identify when that voice starts creeping in, that the minute, like, what are your trigger senses? What are your trigger words? Are they, you know, the minute I start thinking, I didn't prepare enough for this, that's got to be a trigger word. That's a trigger. That tells me, like, oh, I'm starting to do it. Because I've found that whether I prepare a ton or just a little, that idea that I didn't prepare enough, I'm not ready, that right away I'm starting to invalidate everything I'm getting ready to do. And I'm starting to go into that torture mode, because imposter syndrome is kind of, it's like a self-torturing thing, because inside being riddled with that much self-doubt and anxiety, I mean, it makes the whole process, you know, a nightmare. So I just want to encourage you, if you think that imposter syndrome is in fact ruining your life, holding you back from doing the things that you know that you want to do, the things that you know you are capable of doing, even if you're having self-doubt, know that it is normal. You are not alone. And usually the highest achieving people out there are you know, we're usually the ones that are hit with it the hardest. So when you're starting to get hit with it, just the act of being aware that it's happening to you starts pulling out the power. It starts diffusing the power that it's had. And so I just want to encourage you that if you're doing this, if you're feeling like that and you're trying to move forward, do it anyway. Do it feeling like an imposter. It is okay. That's a natural and normal part of achieving and the high achievers that are out there in the world. You're not alone.